Hi, Chris here. Today we're going to look at AutoCAD, some real basics. I've sketched using an A3 sheet a whole lot of things, and then I've taken a photograph and I've actually inserted that into AutoCAD. And over here you'll see that I've drawn a circle, two lines and another line, trying to represent what these are. And we're going to look at O-snaps. So what's an O-snap? Well, every object in AutoCAD can have an O-snap. For instance, a line, if I hover over the line, it can have an endpoint, and if it has one endpoint, it can also have another endpoint, and in the middle it can have a midpoint. Where do these O-snaps come from? Well, down here we have our object snaps, and if I right hand click and pick on settings, you'll see here we can either pick to turn them on, so now it's on, or pick to turn it off, and that's the symbol for the endpoint. And here we've got midpoint, center, quadrant, perpendicular, tangent. We might as well turn intersection on and say OK. So we're still in line command, and if we hover over, you can see there's an endpoint, there's an endpoint, there's a midpoint, there's no intersection because there's no lines crossing. Here there's an endpoint, here there's an endpoint, there's a midpoint, endpoint, midpoint, and an intersection. And on a circle you have a quadrant, a center, a quadrant. And if I pick here and then go to the circle, I can either go to the quadrant or I can go to a perpendicular or even a tangent. So let's do task 1. Pick on line, pick on the screen about here, specify first point, so I pick on the screen and then I type in shift at, in other words from that point, 138, shift the less than symbol, 0 degrees, hit enter. Now let's move the mouse a little bit. You can see it's drawn a line from where I picked on the screen, 138 at 0 degrees. So I'm just going to leave the mouse there. I'm going to type in shift at, in other words from that second point, 64, that's length. Now we use the less than symbol to change to angle. Going straight up is 90, so I type in 90, enter. So then I go from that point, in other words shift at, 138, less than symbol to go to angle now. Going to the left is 180 degrees, hit enter. From that point, 64, less than symbol, straight down is 270. Enter, enter to finish. So there's the box. And there is the direction in AutoCAD.